Okay, you guys are seeing different angles because I'm trying to hide from the sun, trying to find the shade. I'm on my porch right now. So, the last big cornerstone we're going to talk about social cognitive is self regulation. So, more of those, this is a lot of that cognitive factor that comes into play here. Um, and so, this is the ability to control one's emotions, cognitions, behaviors, and providing consequences yourself. So I know that a lot of us struggle with this at certain points as well. And so self-regulation is composed of these three facets. So self-observation, so kind of seeing what's going on with ourselves, viewing ourselves and our behavior. Judgment of that, so literally comparing our performance to a goal or a standard that we have in our head. And then so you go from observing to judgment to evaluating. And so literally determining the quality of the judgment and sometimes providing consequences if you want to do better. And maybe you're providing rewards if you did well. And so sometimes, like, I know after I make these videos, I'm going to go meditate. That's my reward for my evaluation of how I did, if I complete it, literally, if I complete it or not. So maybe you should be thinking about how are you rewarding yourselves, or what meaningful consequences are you giving yourselves in this time of online instruction too. And so there's kind of three different domains when it comes to self-regulation. You're starting with a plan, your goal setting, and we talked about that goal setting with self-efficacy as well. Your intrinsic motivation goes into this, so how much you want to do it goes into this plan. And then you need to engage in monitoring and controlling your behavior. And so you're thinking about your emotions, your instructions to yourself. How am I doing right now in the moment? When I had kids do a complex task, I would have them check in the middle of it. So, have you been working for the last 2 minutes really hard, or have you been daydreaming? Have you been talking to a friend? So, literally monitoring and helping them to do that. And then, of course, we tend to run out of time for reflection, but it's so important. It's the evaluation process. How did I do? And attributions we'll talk about with motivation a lot too. But you attribute your success and your failures to certain things, and those matter. And then come in your rewards and your punishments. And so this is just something that I would do in the class. I think everyone, I do this with you literally. Like when we check in, we do this, but it went a little more. So they had a gauge for how they were feeling, and I gave them thought prompts and speaking stems. So right now I'm in the red or whatever color. You can tell because, and I would model for them if I was angry, like you can tell because my voice is shaking, or you can see my cheeks are a little red, or my lips are really, like, they're really coarse. I have a frown on my head. I would literally show them these things to help them monitor their own behavior. So what I want you to do is go to the video, and I want you to jot down how this girl, she's so sweet and cute, what she's doing to plan and goal set before the response, and think about her motivation beforehand, what she's doing to monitor during her, what she's doing, how is she monitoring, and you want to go back and think about how is she emotion regulating, what's happening with her,